Chapter 10. Desert Brew. 2 clawed prints pressed their mark into the cold level sands far beyond Striven's gate. The desert here was dark, except for the gleam of moonlight on the 1,000 crystal shards that crusted the brittle landscape. Lord Catfish padded across these bare and boundless sands, growling restlessly to himself. Apart from the angry buzz of a couple of march flies rising and dropping, all was breathless and quiet. It was about the midnight hour, when everything feels lonely and slow, and even a brief cat nap eluded him. But all the ambience of a desert bathed in a soft fluorescent glow was lost on this desert howler. For his was a wanting brain, and he wanted badly. It was more than just a passing fancy, an itch, or even a whimsical hankering. No, this was a joyless rage which dares to burn until it forms a blaze. Every nerve strained in a terrible hunger. But what he ardently wanted could not be gotten easily. Every year it was the same, he thought rancorously. The famished pain, the baleful wait for the day of the reckoning to arrive, the deed to be done, and finally that strange alchemy of fulfilment and despair. Then, no sooner had it been sated than the ragged hunger would start all over again. It would seize him as it began its mournful rise, slowly at first, then reaching a crescendo of shrieking agony until he was nothing but a throbbing mass of disintegration. But he had to stagger the supply, because if he dismembered and gorged on the mortals as he wished, they'd all be gone in a day, and then he would suffer the torture pangs without relief. Agonizing restraint, that is what he must employ. A spider with patient lust at the centre of its heart. But oh, fie upon those manky gimps! At least they were subservient to him. The king and queen were easily bought with a pennyworth of power. Puppets on a string, and he the maestro of manipulation. Then, of course, there was the Lodi. Ah, one of his best yet, he congratulated himself modestly. With those flames he fanned desires so intense they could split the atom, an infinitive, or the human soul. Yes, he had forged empires with those lies. These kingdoms above and kingdoms below were due to his miserific vision, and they yielded a steady supply of his refreshments. But now there was that skanky vermin of a child, Juliana, who had appeared mysteriously on the scene. No doubt this was some treacherous work of him. Ha! Thinks he can overthrow me with his underhanded manoeuvre, does he? Find the stone my foot, he said mockingly. It's just typical of the limp-wristed, nauseating way he would go about the thing. Humph! We'll see. Well, I'll show him who's boss. I'll outsmart, outmanoeuvre, and outgeneral the general. Striven will continue under my authority, not his. But at all costs, she must not find the white heart of stone and return it to the shield, or I am lost. But I can stop that lousy little leech, and I know how. A plan congealed in his fractured mind. A sprat to catch a mackerel. Yes. Come, little Venus, step into my parlour and sup with me, he thought to himself. But these thoughts quickly turned to the pressing matter of tomorrow. He gnashed his teeth. Tomorrow, tomorrow, the day of the reckoning. A consummation devoutly to be wished. I can hardly wait, he thought, as a long blue tongue escaped quickly before returning to its mouldy resting place.